this beautiful Sunday. Nothing like a load of rain to make you wish for snow.
Isn't it beautiful?
No,
Come
it's
on,
not. But it
look
means
at
it's
that.
one step closer to summer, so that's okay.
What did they say? April showers, they bring May flowers?
They do say
Right?
that. Way to pull it back.
You see, there we
Old
go.
school.
So,
I like that. That's Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages and chartered mortgage broker. Myself, Chantal Desjardins. We are live every Sunday here on CJAD from 1 to 2 p.m. You can watch us on Facebook Live. Just head over to Facebook, type in Terry Kilakos. Watch the magic live as it happens. We're all waving at the camera right now. You can't see it unless you're on Facebook. Otherwise, you're just listening to the wave, which sounds like silence. Give us a call with any of your real estate questions, 514-790-0800, or text us at 514-800. Today on the show, we are going to be demystifying reverse mortgages because, Terry, they are not as scary as people think, correct?
absolutely not.
All right, well, that's the end of the show. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, we're gone now.
A lot of people feel that the bank is going to take over their house, you know, that they're not going to own their house anymore. We're going to break it down. We're going to simplify it. We have some fun stuff. We have a lot of guests on the show today. We have Sue Pimento from Home Equity Bank. She'll help us understand exactly what reverse mortgages are. We're going to have Amanda from Keyspire on the line in just a minute. We're going to have Dan. Is Dan coming on the show? Is Dan just here to hang out?
Dan's just sitting here with his arms crossed,
I know.
wearing his New York Yankees hat, and he's just like, is it? No, it's not a Yankees hat.
He's
New
he's
York
security.
Giants.
I get
There
it.
you go.
Sue's important.
Yeah.
So we'll get to all that, but first, should we start with a little market update?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the big news this week, Bank of Canada had met a little while back. They didn't increase the interest rates, which is good. We didn't anticipate them raising rates. The bond market is actually doing well as far as mortgages go, but oddly enough, TD and RBC decided that they were going to raise their rates.
Why?
They are raising, let's be specific about what they're raising. They're raising their posted rates, and they're raising that by 45 basis points, okay? Now, for the people that actually listen to our show and understand how penalties work, they're going to understand why they did that. So TD and RBC both decided to raise their 5-year posted rate. And the reason why they did it, I mean, they'll come up with all kinds of different things that they'll say. Now I'm going to give my 2 cents, is because now the spread between the 5-year rate that you're going to get at the branch and the posted rate is going to be really large, right? So you're going to end up having this huge difference between the two. So it'll go from 329 all the way up to, I think they raised 559, which
jump.
Means that the penalties that they can charge are much larger.
Right,
okay, so I'm not going to go based on the news of what they said they raised it for. This is the reality of why they raised it, because all the indicators, everything that was the reason why they were supposed to raise it, the reason why they said they raised it, and the reason why it actually was done is two different things altogether. So now when someone has to break their mortgage in about a year or something, or a couple of years, they'll have a much bigger penalty.
And is that kind of unfair? Do you think they shouldn't have?
It's their right. It's their prerogative to do what they want to do. The problem is that unfortunately the average consumer is not aware, unlike the people that listen to the show, which are very aware of what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, because they're not aware of what's happening. They're just kind of be like, okay, it is what it is, not realizing that when push comes to shove and they have to break that mortgage, they're talking, major penalties.
Right.
Because of this little move that
wow.
they did. Yeah.
Sneaky
Absolutely.
a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my vent. Anyways.
We've got I see you getting emotional about this. I like this. It's about the people, right? We've got Amanda from Keyspire on the line. You want to chat with her?
Absolutely, yeah. So on May 5th, Keyspire is going to be having a wealth tour. It's an event that was put together by Scott McGilfrey and Michael Saraceni. So
I love Scott.
I know everyone. He's like a heartthrob,
right?
Right.
But I've got a poster. If that was still cool, I would have like a poster like we did in the '80s of your like boy band crush. He would be my boy band crush.
Just to let you know, both Scott and Michael had a boy band.
No, they didn't.
They had a boy band. They did.
Like they were in it together? Was it like NSYNC before there was NSYNC?
Yeah, Amanda will confirm this. Okay, just to actually
so great.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, and so there's the conference. The wealth tour that they're doing on May 5th. It's going to be in Montreal. There's 2 available times. One's at 10 a.m. The other one's at 2 p.m. And anyways, Amanda will talk more about it. So it's Amanda. I can't pronounce her name. I'm gonna like butcher this. Bach. Did I say it right, Amanda?
Hi there. No.
No, you didn't.
Sure. Amanda Bauk.
Say it. Come on. Go. What is it?
Bauk.
Bauk. You know,
Bauk,
I'm
yeah.
driving. I'm talking to Amanda. I was like, how do you pronounce your name?
You've already confirmed how to pronounce your name, and then 5 minutes later you said
I
something else?
Yeah, I'm terrible.
Well,
I'm
you know
sorry,
what? I can't pronounce Terry's last name either, so I say that we're equal. It's okay.
So Amanda is one of the success coaches at Keyspire. She's awesome. I love her to death. And so talk to us, Amanda. Tell us a little bit about the Wealth Tour that's coming around.
Yeah, so the Wealth Tour is actually this coming weekend, so Saturday, May 5th, as you were saying. There's a 10 a.m. time slot and a 2 p.m. time slot. So this is a live real estate investing event. So Scott is going to be there. He's going to be the presenter, and we want to see as many people out at the Wealth Tour to actually meet Scott and to get some great real estate education there as well. So this is all about information, and there, of course, is an opportunity to get some further education with Keyspire as well.
What kind of things can people learn? If they're either, do you have to already be in the game to gain from this, or can you be a brand new beginner and say, you know what, I kind of want to invest. I want to kind of learn a little bit more about this.
Yeah, great question. So all of the above. So what we find is the Wealth Tour will draw brand new people who are just looking to get involved with real estate investing. But it also draws the attention of our experienced real estate investors who are part of the investing community. So I would say all of the above. We've got beginners, we've got people that do have a couple properties as well, and then also our savvy investors would benefit from coming to the Wealth Tour.
Very cool. And for people to sign up to this, I mean, they can just go on wealthtourcanada.com, correct?
Yeah, you got it. So it's wealthtourcanada.com, and you can sign up and you can get free tickets for the event if you register online.
Very, very, very cool. And, I have a question for you because, I mean, for me, I talk about real estate all the time, and every time I go to one of these events, I always kind of learn something from it. What drove Scott and Michael to actually do this?
So where it began was that Scott and Michael were experiencing a tremendous amount of success in their own real estate investing. And what they found was their family and friends and people who they were meeting were asking them so many questions about how they were doing this and how they were being so successful. So this is where they had wrote a couple books in the past as well, and they have put together this company called Keyspire, and we do real estate education specifically. So this is where we teach that there's, multiple ways to make money in real estate. And we do have something for everybody, as I mentioned, for the beginners and the savvy investors as well. So it's heavily focused on investing and actually taking action.
Great. Thanks, Amanda. So for people to get, go ahead.
Before we let Amanda, really quick, can you confirm, did Scott and Michael have a boy band?
This is true. Yeah,
see?
Absolutely.
There you go.
They did back in the day, and the pictures are absolutely hilarious. And sometimes they get revealed at a couple of our Keyspire events.
Can you get me a poster for my bedroom, like a signed one?
Well, I mean, I have one in my bedroom, but I'm not willing to give it up.
Understand. That's fair enough.
Thanks, Amanda.
Thanks so much.
I'm completely joking, by the way. Those are my bosses.
Thanks, Amanda.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, Amanda from Keyspire. Sounds like a great event. That's May 5th, the Keyspire Wealth Tour. You're listening to The Real Estate Show on CJAD. Call us with your questions, 514-790-0800. Text us at 514-800-MORE with Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages, coming up, as well as Sue Pimento from Home Equity Bank. We are breaking down reverse mortgages. After this, we'll check on the roads right now with Kira Yeager.
Just got a call.
Just like that, we're a quarter done.
Oh, look at that. She's so funny, that girl.
She's funny. She's funny.
I like that girl.
Even if we can't say her name. Okay.
Excellent.
Coming from a guy that's got a Greek last name, that's kind of ironic.
I know, right?
Fuck.
Bok. No, Bauk. Bauk. That was a B-O-W-K. Bauk. Like bow, chicken bow.
Okay, guys, so...
Are we live with the what, audio?
Okay, so everyone that's watching on Facebook land right now, I'm about to put the link. So if you want to go to the event, just go to www.wealthtourcanada.com. Canada.com. Boom. I just put it on.
Okay.
So you guys can just log on, sign up for your tickets. It's free. It's going to be awesome.
Great.
I'm going to be there. A couple of our brokers are going to be there as well. So it should be fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're going to chat with Sue Pimento after this. Doesn't she have a face that makes it look like you know her? I walked in and I was like, you were so familiar. And she's like, no, I just have that face. She does have that face.
She's caliente.
Caliente. She's spicy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Pimento.
Yeah, pimento.
You get it?
Wow.
Pimento.
Pimentos aren't spicy. Pimentos are the little red thing in the olives.
Get to know me.
Those
They're
aren't spicy. In the olives, those are just like, they're delicious. They're just like
You can have a spicy
You
pimento.
can have a spicy pimento.
Can you have a spicy pimento,
No,
people?
they're just a thing in the olives, right? Anybody? Dan
You're going to get a
knows.
bunch of texts now about pimentos.
I know.
You are.
It's hard being right all the time.
Somebody's got to do it.
Right? It's not.
Hold on,
it's super
but pimento, isn't it not pepper?
Yes,
No.
that's the root of the word.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be spicy.
It's a
does
red
it?
pepper. It's just a regular sweet
It's a
red
regular,
pepper.
yeah. Terry, stick with me, kid. Okay, so we're gonna have Sue for like the full rest of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll jump right into it.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. And Dan, you're really not coming on the air? This is just you're here to. Do you want to wave to the viewers? You want to come?
Yeah, come on this
Come
side.
over somewhere. Yeah.
But
Give him
I
a
know
little.
for sure you're here now.
Hi, Dan. Everybody
This is
say
Dan
hi,
Dilio, everyone.
What do you do, Dan?
Hi.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm a BDM at Home Equity Bank. So
Go
Sue,
down. We can't do
so
that.
Sue's like my big boss,
Nice.
and you know what? We help seniors.
Yeah, we keep them
You
in
know,
their
every
homes.
day I'm lucky I get to meet a bunch of Zoomers, and
Why are you not on Facebook?
I am on Facebook.
Why
He's
can't I
my
find
friend
you?
on Facebook.
You're
Oh.
Moran's new friend on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Did you
Whatever.
cut Terry from your friends? That's embarrassing.
I went for the brains of the operation.
Smart
You see-
move. Smart move.
Thank you, Carter. Carter just said the pimento probably would be already hot.
Somebody do some research. Somebody do a Google. Because
He's talking about me, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Any olive I've had with the red thing in it has not been spicy.
I agree. I'm on your side.
Thank you,
sometimes.
Marav.
Okay,
My
when
hand
you
keeps on
okay, tell
showing
me
up on
something.
camera.
When you have like those bell peppers in like a jar,
Yeah.
you have like bell peppers
You can
and
have
like a whole
sweet
bunch.
ones or you can have spicy ones.
You have it in the jar and
Yeah.
you have like the pepper in there.
Yeah.
It would be spicy if
So
it's
no,
mixed
I
in
think
with
I
other.
think it doesn't have to be. Dan's on my side too. Sue, I feel like Sue's maybe on Terry's side.
Sorry?
Are you on Terry's side or my side for the spicy pepper debate?
Well, personally, I'm
Well,
spicy.
it's starting, boys.
What's in the pepper?
With Chantal Desjardins and Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Show. We are having a heck of a debate off the air that you're only going to be able to check out if you're on Facebook Live, and it's about peppers. It's very spicy. Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages, chartered mortgage broker, myself, Chantal Desjardins. We're talking about reverse mortgages, and our guest in studio today, we have Sue Pimento. She is spicy, we know that much. From Home Equity Bank, thanks for being here.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And let's talk about, a lot of people talk about reverse mortgages. A lot of people are afraid of the idea of reverse mortgages without really even, knowing much about them. Can you break it down for us? What exactly is a reverse mortgage?
Sure. A reverse mortgage is simply a mortgage that allows you to have access to your equity without the burden of payments.
Okay.
And you are right, Chantal. There is a stigma about reverse mortgages, and some of it, a lot of the bad press does come from south of the border, where they don't have the same regulations we do. Home Equity Bank is a Schedule I bank. We're governed by OSFI, so we're extremely conservative with what we lend, and it's really, really important to us that we set the senior or the retiree up to succeed.
Right.
So we will actually put in writing in our contract that they will never owe more than what their property is worth. And that's a pretty big guarantee.
That is a big guarantee.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's one of the fears about is like are borrowers still going to own their home if they choose to have their reverse mortgage attached to it? Like is the bank going to own it from here on in?
No, the bank does not take ownership whatsoever. Just like if you had a mortgage with the Royal Bank, they wouldn't take ownership. It's exactly the same thing. It's a standard term charge that's registered. The only way we get paid back is when the house gets sold.
And how often do you do reverse mortgages?
Well, we are probably one of the only banks that are growing feverishly. Last year we grew at 36%, the year before that 26%, the year before that 20%, And personally, Dan and I take credit for every single sale and the fact that we're growing so
Obviously,
crazy.
Of course,
but,
yeah.
you know, there's an awful lot to be said for being in the right place at the right time with the right product. And I don't need to tell you how big this market is. Just walk down the street and count the gray hairs.
Yeah. So, because why would somebody get a reverse mortgage? Like, who's your...
Well, we lend to people that are over 55. So they're the retirees. And there's basically two different types of clients. One is the need client, and that's where they need more cash flow. Maybe they're on CPP and OAC and they own a home. And you can quickly do some math. It's very hard to make ends meet. So they're the client that actually, if they want to stay in their home, and the numbers are compelling, 91% of people want to stay in their home. And as they get older, that number actually gets even higher. So if they want to stay in their home and they need cash flow, those are our need clients. The other, and that's about 20% of our market.
Like stay in their home as compared to going to a senior's home? Is that what you mean?
Well, that would be as opposed to selling your home.
Okay.
And whether that be rent, downsize, go into assisted facility, whatever it might be. The larger portion of our marketplace is actually the want clients. And these customers are using a reverse mortgage as a savvy financial strategy, tax-free I might add, to finance their retirement. The key is when you collapse the asset, sell your home, collapse your savings, that's when you lose the upside. And that's why reverse mortgages have become so attractive. The asset keeps growing. You're not collapsing the asset. You're just taking equity out, getting access to that, and creating an income, creating whatever it is you want to create.
Sue Pimento, Home Equity Bank. And now, Terry, do you find that you're doing more of these reverse mortgages lately?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's funny, a few years back, I remember doing a show dedicated to reverse mortgages. And I ran some as well. Some of the advertising campaigns that we did was for reverse mortgages, and we got some calls, but I mean it was kind of lackluster, you know. Like I mean there wasn't
feelers.
Yeah, exactly. Now, without us actually going out there and putting any type of ads, anything out there, the clients are coming in, right? And it's very interesting to see people are leaning more and more and more towards it. The thing is that, again, you just have to, you know, we have to take the time to demystify them a little bit because people are confused. You know, people are kind of saying, well, a reverse mortgage in Canada is the same thing as a reverse mortgage in the States. No, that's not, it's not at all. It's literally night and day. It is not the same thing. I think the only thing that they have in common is the name, you know, and that's probably about it, right? So, you know, it's important for people when they're at the time of their life when they're going to be thinking about reverse mortgages or any type of mortgage. You got to do your due diligence, obviously, but you got to go and speak to people that are actually credible and people that are actually able to advise you properly on setting something like this up. This is what we do all the time. I mean, this, you know, this is part of the you know, Home Equity Bank is one of the banks that's in our arsenal of lenders. And, you know, when a client comes in and we look at all the different options for financing, I mean, sometimes Home Equity Bank is the option for them. And I think it's great. I mean, I did it for my parents a number of years back and they were happy for it. We were talking about that with Sue just before the show. Right. So...
Demystifying reverse mortgages. Call us with your questions, 514-790-0800. Text us at 514-800 or hit us up on Facebook Live. Just got a text saying, what do they charge? Is it an expensive endeavor to get a reverse mortgage?
The interest rate that we charge is about 2 to 2.5% above the discounted rate. And without the burden of payment, it becomes very, very reasonable. Once upon a time, before we were a bank and were able to source our own funds, we were more expensive. So that is one of the maybe legacy pieces that are out there, but in real terms today, we're not expensive at all. And if you look at the size of the actual demographic, I don't know if you know this or not, Terry, but 39.6% of people over the age of 18 are over 55.
Wow.
Now,
say that again.
39.6%. Now, 82% of stats are made up, but this one's not. So, 39.6% of everybody over the age of 18 is older than 55.
Big baby boomers.
Yeah. And, you know, the good news is we're living longer. life expectancy when you were making your financial plan, or I was making my financial plan back in the 80s, was to 85 years old. And now I have a 52% chance of living to 92.
Yeah.
I know.
I
I read a stat last weekend. The first person that will actually live to 200 years of age apparently has already been born.
I read that.
That's amazing.
I mean, maybe it's one of us.
You never know.
Let's be real. It's probably not one of us. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick little break here. But demystifying reverse mortgages, Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages and chartered mortgage broker, and we have Sue Pimento, Home Equity Bank. We'll continue on with what are the reasons that people are taking out mortgages later in life and how to go about it, the best way to go about it, coming up after this.
The Real Estate Show is brought to you by Northeast Mortgages.
At Ford Service.
It just pops off. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm putting it upside down.
You're gonna put the broken key.
What is it?
It's what turns.
Did you break another thing?
Yeah, it's what turns my mic on and off. But the button is kind of loose, so when I turn it off, I just kind of flick it like that, and every time I flick it, it'll do that. So I've decided I'm putting it upside down.
Okay. Trying to take a couple pictures if you guys want.
Terry, I gotta be honest. As you can see, I know a lot of radio people.
Yeah.
You're a natural at this.
Listen, don't feed his ego too much.
He's really good though.
He's very good. Terry is very good. Terry is very good.
For a guy with no formal training in
totally,
this?
I get it. You're very close. You're very, very close. Awesome. No, he's great. We could easily have like a show.
Well, 10 years later, I would hope so. Sorry.
10 years. Your birthday's over, Terry. It's back to.
You got to do a 10-year anniversary. I think it's in October.
10 years, that's a lot of hours.
10-year anniversary.
I don't know if it's April or October, your first show.
What?
You got to do a 10-year anniversary. Was it April or October?
I have no clue.
Terry, you seen some of these
texts? Yeah, we'll talk about a couple of them.
Okay.
Okay, so can you describe a scenario with a reverse mortgage? Does the interest compound?
Yep.
Why isn't your guessing? Oh no, this is.
That was just kind of like.
Why isn't your guessing exactly what the interest rate is?
Did you just say
Tell the listeners exactly what the rate could be and interest compound.
Well, it's pretty darn like.
And it's fluid. It might be different tomorrow. Right?
Exactly. We can say
that. We could say what the rate is today.
Listen, you cranky texter.
5 years locked.
624.
We did say it, 2 to 2.5%.
Let's not give too much energy over there.
No, you get one of those all the time.
Yeah, we always get the fun.
We always get somebody that's. Oh, we got a caller. Sam in Montreal. Yeah, that's good.
I think we're going to be going straight into the news, right?
Yeah. So it'll be have to wait another minute.
So
Terry, then do you want to after? So we'll get the caller. We'll get a couple of these texts, and then do you want number 4 there? Like, do you have do you see the same reasons why people are jumping into like number 4 on the questions?
Yeah, we can do that. And actually, we can use. Could you describe a scenario with a reverse mortgage?
Sure.
So I can talk about that, and you can talk about that as well.
Okay, so we'll do that.
Yeah, instead of asking me why do you see people going into reverse mortgages,
we'll just say scenarios.
We can just talk about.
I like it when a plan comes together.
Okay.
And then we'll go a little bit more into detail for interest rates.
Great.
And does the interest compound? So
of course, it's the same as
we got lots of.
Does
it
compound?
So I think I know we're really. Hey, Facebook! I know we're talking about reverse mortgages today, but I think what people really want to know is
about our Vegas
how
trip.
was Vegas?
Yeah.
How was Vegas for all the viewers at home?
What happens in Vegas
stays ends up on Facebook,
Instagram.
Did you see my Facebook picture?
I saw it. The one with the little cake.
Like the Rock.
No,
you did look like the Rock. Were you signing autographs as the Rock? That's what I heard.
No, but you didn't see like the one that I just put up this morning?
No, I didn't see that.
He's a little more of the pebble than the rock.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm the pebble.
I was the pebble. Yeah. Get it? I'll do the jokes here. I'll do the jokes. So give us a couple highlights. Highlights. No shows? You didn't go see Celine? Is she even still there?
No, we didn't go see any shows. Okay. What did we do?
Wow.
We went to
stonewalling all of us. Nobody's given us any information. We went to bed early every night.
Yeah,
we actually did.
No, you didn't. No, we didn't go to bed early. We went to bed at a reasonable
time.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, so let me explain to you what a vacation for me is.
What's a vacation?
Okay? So a vacation for me, once I get away from the kids, is sleeping.
So you're saying you went to Vegas to sleep?
No, we went to Hoover Dam.
Okay.
Okay, so we went to go see Hoover Dam. And we went to the outlets. And
that's good. Got
went
some shopping.
A lot of eating.
A lot of eating, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
A lot of walking.
Any fun restaurants you like the best?
Yes.
Which ones?
Chez mon ami Gabi. That's very nice.
That's the name of a restaurant?
Yes,
There's
it's
a French
at the
restaurant?
Paris Hotel outside. I
And
recommend it
Canalitos.
highly.
And there's what?
Canalitos?
Canalitos?
Canaletto, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
That's
at
great.
the Venetian.
Yeah.
Very good Italian restaurant.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think maybe I went there actually.
There's actually a new restaurant that just opened up, Chez McDonald's. Very
oh,
good. Yeah.
Le Big Mac
Oh.
is
Le Big
shrinking.
Mac. That was
Right?
after your big win.
right
They
after
call
the
it-
big win.
Well,
But you're
look
not
at
really
this.
a big.
Look where I am.
What?
Look what just happened.
Did you
The
just break
chair
the
just
chair?
dropped.
Terry just breaks things all the time.
No,
Move
you
it
know
over
what
to
I
my
think it is?
side.
You know what I think it is? I think that you guys just give me shoddy
All the
equipment.
You know what we'll
stuff?
do next time? We'll put a whoopee cushion.
Yeah.
in the seat.
I think that's good. We probably shouldn't let him know. We should just do it.
Or we put an airbag. You know, from a car. It'll launch him through the tiles.
I feel like that's a bit aggressive for a starter prank. Like maybe we'll start with the whoopee cushion. And
Yeah,
then,
onto the concrete ceiling above us.
do people even still do whoopee cushions? Like, is that like?
Yeah, they
I
have
haven't
them
seen
at the
it.
dollar
Why is
store.
Dan nodding his head? I do it all the
Because I have
time.
11-year-old boys.
Ah,
They love
right.
it.
They like the
Yeah,
whoopee
they love
cushions.
Whoopee cushions, yeah. My kids love the whoopee cushion.
I
They
mean-
crack up. They squeeze it.
It's funny that pranks haven't changed since the 80s or the 70s. Like,
You just say the word and they laugh.
yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
guaranteed to make kid laugh.
Ah,
Totally.
good to know. Good to know.
Totally.
The
We'll
news
have to
is
get one.
done?
Yep.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, back
Yeah,
Can you
there's
put
no
up, the,
Luciano.
put up the speakers a little bit?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go for a walk.
right now.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
We don't need you for the show.
Bye,
anyways.
Terry. We got Sue and Marav and Dan.
You know that Marav would do a better job.
That's not true. That's not true. Maybe it is.
I mean, maybe it is.
just a little.
Maybe it is. But Terry, you're doing well. I mean,
You're doing great.
You know, for a guy that just started 10 years ago.
Picks it up quick,
You
doesn't
picked
he?
it up quick. You picked it up super
It only
quick.
took him like 7, 8
Another
years.
10, 15 years, and oh my god, you were gonna get in so much trouble.
Oh,
for
don't do that. Don't
oh
do
my
that.
God.
Don't do that.
Terry is
Don't do
writing
that.
with
Don't
permanent
do that.
marker on
Don't
the
do that.
window.
Don't do that.
Oh, yes, he is. Well, this is the last episode of the real estate show with Terry
We're back. We're
Kilakos.
back. Oh, no, we're not.
You know what I love? I love David Simon's face as I was doing that. He was like
He's
this.
what is he doing? He's thinking, well, it was nice working with that guy.
He's hilarious, Dave.
Yeah? Awesome.
You know them all.
Yeah, he seems
I used to run an
super
MMA
funny.
league.
You used to what?
I used to run an MMA league in Quebec,
Oh, wow.
and we used to do business with Dave to promote the events.
Crazy.
And his old partner, McHugh, he had a partner on
Okay.
I find there's not enough
690.
bass for some reason.
Awesome.
Bass. How low can you
You
go?
know it's all about that
Hold on.
bass.
I'm gonna just put the regular song.
Ford store for details. Hi, I'm Dr. Brutus. If you suffer from carpal tunnel syndrome or other painful conditions, I can help. As the only private Quebec surgeon focusing exclusively on hands, I specialize in minimally invasive techniques that will have you back to normal faster with less pain, less downtime, and virtually no wait. My team and I take great pride in offering the highest level of care. I have performed more than...
What actress?
She's super famous.
Wonder Woman?
Super famous.
Super
Wonder Woman.
famous.
Keep going
It's
like
Wonder
that. Keep
Woman.
going like that. Of
Gal
course
Gadot.
it is.
Who am I thinking of? I'm gonna
You're
start
talking about Wonder Woman?
No, I'm not talking about Wonder Woman.
She's saying Sue looks like someone.
She
I
looks
look
like.
like Wonder Woman. Thank you.
Yeah, it's Gal Gadot.
Oh my God! When are we going back on the show? I wish I could think of the name.
Ellen Mirren?
No.
Halle Berry.
Younger, much younger.
Halle
That's
Berry.
it. That's it. That's exactly right.
Guys, help me out.
I'm self-declaring.
Can they see her at home? Can they see her like full? Or it's
They
like
can see her.
you're like super famous. Is it in
Shh. Don't tell people about that part. It's been expunged.
It's gonna come.
Oh,
to me.
sweet Jesus, it's allergy season again.
Oh, you can't say that word.
What
Can't
allergies?
say.
You can't write in the window and you can't
You
say
can't
that
say
too.
Susan?
Why can't I say sweet Jesus?
Yes, you
I
can.
don't know.
You just did.
Say it. You can say anything you want as long as you
Listen,
like.
we've already looked. You want me to go through the list of unapproved words?
No, don't do that again.
Poor Sam has been on hold for like 17 minutes now.
How come
Not
I
really
don't-
17.
Is
7
it
minutes.
Sam?
Well,
I-
can you
you
just
know-
tell him we'll take him right after the break?
No, it's okay.
We're
You
coming
know.
up right now.
No.
You know it's all about that bass.
CRTC.
No
this
trouble.
No,
No
don't read
trouble.
those again.
words.
You know what? That's the first time I've realized that they were saying trouble. I was thinking it was treble. Like, Bass,
too.
treble.
Yeah, it's not.
Treble.
It's not.
I think it's trouble. Like,
No.
don't get into trouble.
No,
It's all
it's
about
treble.
that bass. No trouble, but no trouble also seems like
It's a play on words.
We could Google.
clever. Somebody should Google that.
Yeah.
Not us, because we're busy doing
Oh,
the real
it's starting,
estate
guys.
show.
Sorry, now
we gotta do a
it's
thing.
officially starting.
Desjardins and Terry Kilakos, live online and on CJAD 800.
Welcome back. It's the real estate show on this rainy Sunday featuring Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages and chartered mortgage broker, myself, Chantal Desjardins, and we have Sue Pimento, the spicy pepper, even though pimentos are not spicy. Nobody's Googled it for it yet, but I think that's it. From Home Equity Bank, who's helping us understand exactly what reverse mortgages are all about. Now, first we're going to get to Sam in Montreal, who's been waiting very patiently for 8 minutes and 35 seconds. Sam?
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi, Sam.
Quick question for you guys.
Sure.
My house is paid off.
Okay.
And I'm not 55, 53. My question is, if you have credit card debt,
yeah,
can you get a reverse mortgage instead of line of credit to pay off your debt, credit card debt?
Well, you don't necessarily need a reverse mortgage if you're not 55 years old. And you have credit card debt and you need to do some refinancing of your property so that we can clear up that credit card debt, we can do that. We don't have to set it up as a reverse mortgage. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you don't have to do it as a line of credit either. You can set it up straight up as a mortgage, and you just make your payments, and it'll be significantly less than actually having a mortgage payment. Instead of having credit card debts. The only thing that's important, and again, if you listen to this show long enough, I'm always the type of person where I believe in a plan rather than just kind of doing something temporarily, right? So, I'll give you the example. I have clients, they come in and they tell me, oh, Terry, I have this $600 a month car payment. I want to roll it into my mortgage. And I say to them, great, we can do that. However, if you do that, keep in mind your car is going to be dead in 3-4 years, and you're going to be paying for it for the next 25 years, right? So you got to make sure that whatever you do makes sense, and what you do with that $600 savings a month will determine whether or not what you just did will make sense, or if it doesn't, right? So you got to kind of be careful with that. But I'll be happy to sit down with you and look at your different options, my friend.
That would be great. I've talked to my wife, actually, because she just opened a restaurant, my wife, and the reason we have a credit card is because the banks usually don't finance restaurants.
Yeah.
They don't. So we use our credit card in order to pay a lot of bills.
Sure, yeah, definitely. You self-financed.
Yeah, so it's piling up, and the house is paid off, so we were thinking maybe we should do something with our house, use the equity on the house.
For sure, definitely.
To take care of our debt with the credit cards. Because credit cards, we're paying low interest, is 11%, but still, it's more than we can pay if we can take the reverse mortgage or we take, something.
Refinance, yeah.
Refinance.
You'd have to wait a few years to come see us, Sam.
Yeah, but you can come and see
Terry
me right
for now, and then go see Sue.
So give me a call at the office, and I'll be happy to sit down with you and look at your options.
For sure.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
No problem.
If you're sitting at home, call us 514-790-0800 if you have any questions about reverse mortgages or anything else, really. Text us at 514-800 or check us out on Facebook Live. Getting a bunch of texts right now. Terry, where do you want to start? You want to start with?
Okay, so so this one is kind of like a negatively one. Why isn't your guest, but I read all text, so why isn't your guest saying exactly what the interest rate is? Tell the listeners exactly what the rate could be, that the interest compounds year over year. Yes, correct. It's a mortgage. It compounds.
Exactly.
All mortgages compound.
And it's fluid, right, Sue?
Yeah.
Yes, it's semi-annually, not in advance, the same as any other mortgage.
Yeah.
And it depends on the term, whether you're going variable rate, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. We have a full variety.
And you were saying what, between 2 and 2.5 so far?
Yeah, between 2 and 2.5. If you're going to take a 5 year as of today, it'd be 624.
Yeah.
There it is.
Exactly.
Now we got your answer.
Yeah.
Does the interest compound? Yes, we got that for the next text. And can you describe a scenario with a reverse mortgage?
Yeah, so
Who wants to hit that one?
I can give a perfect example, and I always like to use examples from my life. So I'll use my parents as an example, right? So my parents bought their triplex that they had in Milan in 1973. They paid $23,000 for it.
Amazing.
They had it paid off within 5 years, and they basically lived very simple lives. My mom was a seamstress. My dad was a taxi driver. They didn't really save money because they didn't have extra money to save, right? I mean, it was whatever kind of came in. When they got into retirement, they kind of found themselves strapped, right? So they didn't have extra cash. Taxes in the Plateau, Myland area are anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000 a year, just because the price of real estate has gone up so much. Life became very expensive, and so what we did, we went in and we put a reverse mortgage into it, right? So once we did the reverse mortgage, now all of a sudden they didn't have to sell their property, right? Which at that point was worth about $1 million. They didn't have to sell their property. They didn't have to move. They didn't have to do anything like that.
They bought their place for $23,000, and then it was worth $1 million.
That's right. Yeah,
Jeez,
and it's actually
why didn't we all get in the 70s?
It's 1.6 right now, which is crazy. Yeah,
amazing.
So, and we went in. We put in a reverse mortgage. The reverse mortgage paid out a lump sum to them at the beginning, and you can choose. You can choose to have it kind of, maybe you can kind of get into this a little bit after, but you could choose to have it lump sum, or you could choose to have payments come to you. And the beautiful thing is now all of a sudden they're sitting on this float that they can live off of, pay their taxes, do what needs to be done, and have a comfortable life. Another scenario, like Sue mentioned before, you're getting older, you don't want to move to a house, to a nursing home or something like that. Maybe you want to have a nurse coming to the house. You don't have the money for it. You put in a reverse mortgage, you get the money. Now all of a sudden you have something that supplements that kind of new lifestyle, right? So,
Sue, what about you? Give us an example of a reverse. Who would come after you?
Yeah,
for a
we
reverse
get
mortgage?
many examples. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is the money is tax-free. Because it's your principal residence, it's tax exempt. So recently we've had a lot of customers that are actually creating pension income because they'd like to retire, and we all know it costs money to retire, and the stats are a bit sad because less than half of the people retiring have what's called a defined benefit pension. And so, how are you going to retire? So we've had some customers lately that have taken some money in a reverse mortgage and have in turn gone and bought a rental property that's generating income for them. We have other customers that maybe invest in an annuity that'll create incomes for them that way. And then we have other customers that are actually living inheritances. So they're either giving their children down payment for houses, or they're paying for their grandkids' education. We have this one retiree. He's so proud. He put his granddaughter through medical school in Australia and his grandson through legal school in Oxford.
Great.
And he got an opportunity to enjoy it. And they were going to get the money anyway. So we're finding all kinds of creative uses out there. And most of it is driven by need and wanting to retire. And we're living longer, and being able to pay for that retirement is so important.
Now, is there ever a reason not to do this? Like, what are the risks? Right now, it just sounds like all positive.
Well, if you want to go
so here's the thing. The interest does compound, and so the loan will grow because there's no payments.
Yeah.
There's no burden of payments whatsoever. And the house value actually appreciates as well. And I think here we're about a 3% per year annual increase. So the bigger numbers for your parents, for example, that 1.6 value is going to appreciate at 3%. And so depending on what the loan to value is, but let's just use easy math at 3%, and we start to compound, eventually those numbers will meet.
Right.
It's somewhere around a 30-year mark that they'll meet. And remember, we guarantee they'll never pay more than what the property is worth. So we're conservative with what we will lend. And there's an important thing to mention here, and this is where people get kind of hung up all the time. First-time buyers and refinance buyers, their whole goal is to acquire equity.
Right.
right? That's why they want payment options. Whereas the seniors, their goal is quality of life. They've already acquired.
Totally.
It's an upside down reason.
More with Sue Pimento from Home Equity Bank and Terry. I'm sure you're going to jump in
Yeah, I
with
was
this
just about to say something.
First, we'll check on the roads with Kira Yeager, and then we'll be back with more.
Looking at an accident right now on the westbound Metropolitan at Kilakos in the left-hand lane. We now have a tow truck on the scene, 2-vehicle collision, by the way, and another emergency vehicle.
I said, are we doing okay?
Oh yeah, very good.
Well, lapses. Sarah's having a little like.
No, I just wanted to say that you don't. It doesn't necessarily have to compound too, because if you pay the interest annually on it, you know, it's your right to pay the interest, and if you pay the interest now, it's not compounding. So
yeah, jump in with that. And then we just got this long text. Wow, somebody just says, "Wow, thank you."
Nice.
Yeah.
And most of it is just the Canadians have, if we can get this in, it'll talk to them. Canadians have a stigma against using your equity.
Yeah.
To live on.
Yeah.
It's just a notion. It's just a mindset.
And Sue, the market's way above 3%.
Ah.
It's on fire. I think we're at 9% first quarter in Montreal.
I have a couple of interesting texts coming in. I'm trying to remortgage my.
I know so many texts. People really like this topic. It's just something that I think a lot of people don't know about.
And there's a lot of misconceptions.
And it's just a bit scary. It's this big scary idea that like most people don't have all the information. So all you think about it is like, oh my God, everything I've worked for, I'm starting to like, you know, lose the ability to hold on to it. But that's not.
It's something people have heard about, but they have no clue. Like even my friend, and I said I'm with Ben. I'm doing this now.
Yeah.
Goes, really? What is it?
Yeah.
So it's really that.
I think this is a great topic for people.
And so, and the other thing too is, money is a smaller problem.
Yeah.
For retirees, the bigger problem is health and mobility.
Yeah.
So,
you should jump on with that eventually too, because I think that's a good little key.
So, you know, control what you can. Move because your mobility is going to be an issue. Finance your retirement now, so that you can actually live it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Because there's a bigger problem. If we live long enough, we're going to get a health issue.
Right.
I can't believe you didn't see my rock thing.
Show me the picture. Okay, enough of this informative nonsense. Let's go back to Terry looking like the Rock in Vegas.
Come on, let's see this hot Terry.
Look.
Can you add a picture Morel to the video when people are watching it at home? Like, can you show? Here, let's see if I can pull it up on my.
It's the Rock. I'm telling you.
No,
it's the Rock on a budget.
It's the Rock on a budget. It's the Pebble.
Did you hear me say that last time?
Yes, everybody.
No. Yeah.
Oh, this picture you made?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see this, guys.
Come on.
Can you see if I show it? Wait, where am I? Going like this?
He does kind of look like the Rock there.
No, this isn't.
Oh, hold on. Let me try and zoom in.
You think he does look like the Rock?
Well, it's creative camera work.
It's creative camera work, definitely. It's fake news. Fake news, everybody.
Mm.
Yeah, I think he kind of like could pull off the Rock. Like the Rock's like, you know.
Baby brother.
Baby brother. Okay, we're done with it. We're done with looking at Terry like the Rock. It would be cool though if you said you were a stunt double or something and started signing autographs.
I don't think my shoulder. I don't think
there would have been a lineup.
There would have been a lineup.
Influence people.
And has nobody jumped in with who Sue looks like yet? The actress with the short hair. I think you were like an action lady.
Did you see that movie?
I could be. Who was it in Terminator? What was her name?
Terminator. That's what I'm thinking of.
With arms. Linda Hamilton?
You look like Linda Hamilton.
Okay,
wait,
I'm
let me
done.
Just Google it.
This
let me
is
just Google
awesome.
it. Let's see if that's who I'm thinking of. I said that really excited without remembering exactly.
I put it out there 15 years ago. I wanted her arms.
Okay.
And I've got sleeves on.
Not sure if that's who I'm thinking of.
It's probably not.
Yeah, okay. Wait,
yeah,
it
might
might
be. Linda Hamilton.
Not even close. Not even close.
Only because you're hotter than Linda Hamilton.
Oh, thank you, Chantal.
I'm sorry, I got to do a show, guys. As much as I'm enjoying the.
With Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages. Here's your host, Chantal Desjardins.
This show is whizzing by today. The real estate show, Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages and chartered mortgage broker. We've got Sue Pimento, the spicy pepper from Home Equity Bank. We are demystifying reverse mortgages. The texts are coming in fast and furious because I think a lot of people, we were just talking about this off the air, have heard about reverse mortgages, but are just a little intimidated by the whole thing because you get so many scary, news briefs from the States, and you're like, wow, if I get a reverse mortgage, I'm going to lose, the ability, everything. Like and it's not true.
But this is what I wanted to say before the break. We were talking about compounding. It's important to also understand that if you do happen to decide to make payments into this reverse mortgage, which it's your right to do it, there's no compounding, because if you pay that interest annually, then there's no interest compounding upon interest. You're just paying the interest, and you're good to go. You can do that. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 15 or 20% that you could prepay on the. Can you pay 10%? 10%.
10%.
Yeah,
yes.
10%. I had Dan picking up his hand. It's 10.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, so 10% annually. So it's not bad. We got a text actually that just came in. I'm trying to remortgage my rental property. Why am I having a hard time getting banks to provide amortizations over 15 years? Note that the CRA allows you deduct the interest only when you pay off the building in a reasonable time, usually determined by the length of the original amortization period. Basically, my original period was 25 years, so I have 15 years left. All banks are offering 20 to 30. Basically, every time I remortgage to find a better rate, I keep adding on time, which at the end of the reasonable period in which my interest will no longer be deductible.
Longest text messages in the history of CJAD text messages.
So here it is. No one is going to come after you for that reasonable time period. Okay, plus you got to remember, every time you refinance that mortgage, if you're going for a better interest rate, it's actually better for the government. So at the end of the day, I have never seen the CRA go after anyone for that reasonable period that you're talking about. Plus, you got to remember, if I was to take out, let's say I had a personal home, not even talking about a rental property. If I had a principal residence that I would decided to pull out $200,000 and take that money and invest it, now that mortgage becomes tax deductible, even though it's on my principal residence. So you got to remember that there's, if circumstances don't allow you to have 15 years because your indebtedness ratios are too high, well, so be it. This is what it is. And if the interest rate is lower, then so be it. And I don't think anyone from the CRA is going to come knocking at your door and have, give you a hard time, because I've had clients which have literally had their properties mortgaged off to the hilt for 30, 40 years, and the government has never said a word to them, and they keep pulling money out and they keep reinvesting it, and it's all been good. So, yeah, if your accountant is telling you that, have
Get
a word
a new
with
accountant.
you. No,
I'm kidding.
No.
Keep your accountant. We love our accountant.
Keep
Sue?
your accountant. Just have a word with them.
Right. What do you think, Sue?
Well, we actually reverse mortgage rental properties as well. We'll blanket. Your primary residence has to be in the bundle, and we'll go up to 3 properties. And, the smarter people are looking for tax-free ways to create money and get access to their money. But you know what? As we age, there's a bigger problem. There's a much bigger problem than money. I talk to seniors every day. What gets in the way of you having the retirement you want? And you'd think they'd say money, but no one ever says that. It's all health and mobility.
So interesting. We're so consumed with money throughout our whole lives, and then it actually comes down to health at the end. Doesn't matter what kind of money you have.
But it does come down to the money that you need for your health.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yes, you're going to need money. And we have 3 stages of seniors. The first stage is the go-go. From 65 to 75, they're traveling, golfing, they're eating steak, they're doing everything.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I know. And then we have the slow go. They're not as jazzed about travel, sticking a little close to home. And then there's the no-go, and that's when it's really expensive because healthcare issues, home care, all of that becomes
Because the more you're on the go, the healthier you're going to stay, right? It's when you start to slow down a little bit that's when it's not good.
Yeah. Definitely.
What do you think of the old way of thinking of paying off your home by retirement? Is that like passé? Is that still a...
Look, for me, I have clients, they have that as a goal, and we work around the framework ultimately of whatever your comfort zone is, right? So if I have a client that comes to me and says, I have to have my house paid off in 10 years because these are my plans, well, so be it. Now, does it make sense to pay off a mortgage that's at 2.5% interest or 3% interest when your investments are yielding you 6, 7, 8% return? Not really, right? So you got to kind of look at it, and you got to, again, it's on a case-by-case basis. Some people, yes, definitely, they need to have things paid off. Others, no. it doesn't make sense. You want to refinance, you want to get that money out, and you want to stretch out that mortgage as long as you can. But again, it's on a case-by-case basis, and it depends on where you're at. You know, my parents paid off their house early on in the 80s because interest rates were freaking like 18%, you know? So...
Yeah. Sue, would you say, like, of the people you talk to, are many baby boomers, or most baby boomers, well prepared for retirement with a pension fund, or is this?
I wish I could say yes to that, but the stats are not very promising. Yeah. The average person over the age of 65 has $200,000 saved, and on average, there is an income shortfall of $10,000 every single year. The notion of wanting to pay your home off before you retired is often because of the downsizing strategy. You're going to get it paid off, you're going to downsize, you're going to create all this cash to live on. Unfortunately, it's not working the way it was supposed to work.
Why?
Well, you don't gain enough money to live on because we're living longer, or you have to move 2 or 3 hours outside of your community to make it work. So it's problematic. So, and the other thing is, once you get to retirement, they don't want to move. Their community's there, their family, their whole infrastructure, everything, church is all right there. So there's a couple of major flaws. And so now people are looking at it and going, okay, what do I need to do to adjust? And you've saved this money. I think we were talking earlier.
Yeah.
These people are actually rich.
Yeah, that's right.
They're actually rich.
Right.
They don't look at it that way because Canadians seem to have this crazy stigma that they don't want to touch their equity. It's almost taboo. Truth is, if they use it, it can actually finance their whole retirement.
Totally. Yeah. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts, you know, kind of tying back to what we were talking about, you know, you always kind of, you know, go with the example that I use. You know, your net worth is equal to your assets less your liabilities. You focus on your whole life paying off your liabilities, you're not going to have any assets built up. You know, my philosophy is build up your assets, let the fruits of your assets pay off your liabilities, and then you'll actually live a comfortable life.
This has been a good one. Demystifying reverse mortgages, Sue Pimento from Home Equity Bank. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Terry Kilakos, always the president of Northeast Mortgages and Chartered Mortgage Broker. You can reach him anytime at 514-680-4674. Have a great week, everybody.
The opinions expressed in the preceding program were provided for general information.
Words for the Facebook fans?
For the Facebookers.
Yeah, the Facebookers.
Final words.
My mom's watching in Winnipeg.
Hi, Mom in Winnipeg. Hi, Mama. Don't be afraid of money. Don't be afraid of mortgages. Ask questions. Reverse mortgages are not for everybody, but if you ask questions, you will find out if it is viable for you.
Definitely.
Well said, everybody.
Yeah. And don't forget, Wealth Tour Canada. So, wealthtourcanada.com. Go on there, sign up to Scott McGilfrey's event that's coming up on May 5th. It's going to be awesome. Like I said, I'm going to be there. There's going to be a couple of other people there, so it's going to be fun.
And don't forget, Terry is the rock. He is the rock.
And the pebble.
He is the pebble.
Commercial going on right
I'm
there.
glad everybody got a terrible shot and you missed it.
Chantal, our commercial.
That's cool. That's
perfectly
fun.
timed.
That's perfect.